Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the VR Link. How are you doing, guys? You all right?
Yep, fine, thank you.
Good, good.
You all good?
Thank
How's
you very
everyone in the chat?
much.
Excellent stuff. Thank you for joining us today. Sorry about the lateness. It's completely my fault. Just having a life. So, welcome to episode 32 of the VR Link. This is your weekly Sunday VR chat show that gives you and us a chance to discuss some of the latest virtual reality news, games releases, and you can also listen again to the VR Link as a podcast on Spotify, so you can follow us there, or on Anchor. I'd also like to thank the amazing patrons and channel members whose names are listed below. And if you're looking for ways to support the channel, please check the links in the description. And while you're there, please join the community Discord, which is now up to 500 members, or almost. It's so close. And today we even launched a new channel thanks to... oh man, hold on a second. Oculus Game Cat. He's in there doing good things all the time. So this new channel basically where you can talk about Beat Saber, Synth Riders, Audica, Song Beta, share your favourite new maps, custom maps, share screenshots of your scores, share your gameplay videos on favourite maps. And yeah, you can obviously do maybe a weekly song challenge and stuff. So that's all in there, and that's pretty cool. So thanks to him for bringing that idea to me. We got that sorted because Discord is all about you. So if anyone's wondering where Lincoln is, he is taking some time out from the VR Link. And I say time out, we're not sure where it's all going at the moment, whether he's going to come back or not. But he is welcome back if he wants to come back. He's got some things he wants to sort out and his own reasons. So just letting you know, it's not on like bad terms. It's on good terms. He's very welcome back. Me and the guys obviously miss him already. So yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The one.
Man.
Yep. But we, and hopefully I get to see him in some game streams or something else like that. I'd love to have a bit of a race and a natter as well.
Yeah.
The same things as
Absolutely.
always.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, so let me introduce Salsa from South Ketchup VR.
Hello.
Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Hi, guys.
And myself, Gamertag from this particular channel, GT, as people call me. So, yeah, let's go over what everyone has been playing. If you can post us in the chat what you've been playing, we'll get some hellos done, actually. I need to... I feel bad if I don't say hello. We've got Oculus Quest Fun, Void Cat, German Rifter, DJ. How you doing, guys? You all right? Nice. TRC. Someone did say, are we going to talk about The Walking Dead? Absolutely. We're going to talk about The Walking Dead. Mate, I haven't been able to play it this weekend, so I definitely want to talk about it. It also got VTids, how's it going? The guys have noticed some of your questions and comments. That's pretty cool, so we're going to get through them in a second. Hello, Great Tantrum. How you doing? I think I said hello to Tasnik. Boy Brown, how you doing, man? You alright? Did I say hello to German Rifter? I'm not sure. OJ Pies. Nice. Lord Necton. Best Bite. Pate Laros, how you doing?
I like how you don't say hello to your missus.
Maniac Viper, don't do that. Is she in there? You winding me up?
She's in there.
She's in
Have
there.
I missed her? No, I haven't.
Well,
He's down the bottom. He's down the bottom.
Yeah,
Not to the
it's down
bottom
the
yet.
bottom. He hasn't got there yet.
Oh, man, we've actually had this discussion offline where she says that I ignore her comments. I don't ignore her comments. Hello,
He
Golfer,
does.
Scottish Gamer, Durban Brown. How you doing, guys? You all right? Troy Martin,
He's stirring.
Guy's son,
Stirring.
Mick, how you doing? Rhonda, how you doing? Cool. So let's quickly go through what everyone's been playing in here. So
And hi, Miss GT.
did I not say hello to her?
You still haven't said it.
No, I did, didn't I? Oh, it was
No.
it was about to happen.
Yeah.
It was about to happen.
Oh.
Oh man. DJ says Wakanda forever. Nice, man. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I do miss him already. So TRC Games says he got a quest on Friday, and I've been playing Aspire 1 and Rec Room mostly. Nice, because Rec Room's obviously free and available. You can pretty much play on anything and mobile as well, which I haven't tried. Have any of you tried that? Played that on mobile phone yet?
No.
Also, no.
No, I haven't tried that. Nat, you said you saw a comment from Lord Necton earlier.
Yeah, he said that he's just got his PC, but after that he popped out to Argos and picked up a Oculus Rift S from Argos.
Oh, nice.
So he's now joined the PC VR race.
Superb. Rhonda Fairman says, I bought the Oculus Quest for Beat Saber, but mostly loving Racket NX. It's weird.
That's good.
It is really good. And I
It's
remember
really
the
good,
graphics
yeah.
were quite shocking. Like, amazing. I was like, wow, this looks fantastic. I don't put as much time into that game as I should. Because luckily or unluckily, it depends how you look at it, there's so many new VR games constantly coming out. It's really hard to keep up with.
Crazy amount of games.
It is. And I think, like, we're going to talk about it. We've got Audica coming out this week as well.
For Quest.
For the Quest, yeah, it's dropped out of like nowhere. How we doing, Tasnik? What did you get there, man? I didn't see. Dave 1000 got Arizona Sunshine on the Quest sale. Great game. Glad you said that. Got a lot of like negatives about Arizona, funnily, on the Quest. I think people's expectations sometimes of games on the Quest are quite high.
Yeah, and I actually loved. I actually liked it on Quest, whereas I didn't like it on PSVR. So
yeah. Oh, cool. That's good.
that's the thing.
Yeah, man. GT gonna get in trouble. Mick McGlowan has been on. Yeah, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Nice. Oculus Quest 1. Been trying that. Racket Fury. Oh, what's that one? Is that the table tennis one?
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the
I think
rope-
that's the one that Lincoln was going on about, because I know he really likes that.
That's the one that just got a multiplayer update, wasn't it, or something a little while ago? I think. I can't remember.
There's been a lot of updates recently, so and a lot of different games.
Boy
So that's
Brown
really cool.
has been on Dash Beta and Beat Saber. Nice.
T for God got an update as well.
Yes, has it got hand tracking?
It's getting hand tracking.
It's getting hand tracking.
cool.
I'll take it. Have you both done T for God, yeah?
Yes, I played a little bit
Yeah.
of it, not as much as I wanted to, because I got no room. But yeah,
Yeah, I
is
have to do it
superb.
again. It's got a whole different layer that's been added there now,
Right.
including some odes to old 80s video games.
No way. I didn't know this. Talk to me.
Yeah, there's Mission Impossible like mini game type esque things in the menu systems.
Right. Man, I didn't
So
know that.
if you think of, because they've added a whole persistence thing of upgrades and tools and stuff like that, and a menu system thing,
Yeah.
and it does like a Mission Impossible type puzzle game in the menu system.
Oh man, that sounds bloody awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That sounds really cool. TGK got Arizona Sunshine on sale. I don't know if I've just read that by accident. I've gone too far. No, I didn't. He's also. I didn't even know that was on sale. Testing said he's got a Quest travel case and a near new Oculus Link cable. Nice one, man. Nice one. Why am I hearing? Oh, it's Discord. Turn it off. Sorry. I'm like, why am I getting notifications? DJ, he's been playing No Man's Sky. He won a code for Shadow Legends this week off the channel. Pretty sure I caught a comment on PlayStation. I think he's enjoying that game. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. Someone's on a flight. I can't see on that. I can't see who that is, but yeah, safe journey. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. Mick says The Walking Dead is damn hard. Do you know what? Actually, with that game, I sort of stepped back and done like an hour offline just to gather some resources and stuff to upgrade bits.
I've got a very I've only just got it.
Yeah.
Because it finishes this week. But we're gonna go through and do what games we're doing. I believe that's one that all three of us will be able to talk on.
Absolutely, yes. What I was going to say, yes, and yeah, someone just wrote in the chat, yeah, Kobe Bryant has died in a helicopter crash in California, I think it said.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And yeah, then you got the viruses from China. It is all going gravy. It's brilliant. It's okay. So yeah, guys, what have you been playing this week? Let's start with that. What have you been playing this week, man?
I haven't played too much. I've played a little bit of The Walking Dead today. Obviously, downloaded it on Thursday, but it's a big file. Not as big as something like Asgard's Wrath or anything. But
What was
it's
it?
still a big file.
33 gig, wasn't it?
34 gigs, I think it was. I had to leave it running. Unfortunately, I was ill Friday and Saturday, so I wasn't able to do anything there. But yeah, I got to play about an hour and a half of it today. I got one minor gripe with it, but on the whole, hugely positive. I also had a quick go, and boy, did I suck, of Pavlov shack on quest, do side quest.
You suck.
I suck so badly. So I'll jump in again and I'll give it another try. But if anyone ever wants any easy kills, just join a game that I'm in. You'll just find me, and it'll just be like I'll just walk up behind him and shoot him in the head.
I don't think you get any XP or something. You get cash, don't you, for kills? Which means in the I don't know if it's in the shack version, but in the normal version, you get it's a bit like Counter Strike, isn't it? You get the kills, you get the money, and then you can buy your extra stuff. For your next
No, I
loadout
didn't
kind
get
of
any
thing.
kills. That's how bad I was.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So yeah.
Oh,
mate.
that's rough then. That's rough, isn't it?
What about you, Sals? What have you been playing?
So obviously I had my birthday like this last week, so
did.
been doing some real life stuff. But I thought I'd go back into some car games and test out driving gloves.
Are they VR driving gloves or just driving gloves?
These are gaming driving gloves. They're not the full-on fire retardant. Oh my God, how much sweat are you going to sweat into them type of gloves that you would wear if you were driving an actual GT3 car.
But they probably cost the same, I bet. What do you reckon?
No, they don't. They're not that expensive. They're about 30 quid, 30, 40 quid. And as you see, they fit like a glove. They've got like extra padding around here because if you're doing endurance testing, I did an endurance test of these. I did like about a near 5 hour stream at least. 4.5 hour stream, I think. Near
Right.
5 hour stream.
Okay.
Just in racing cars, which was Assetto Corsa, and tried basically some of the most aggressive cars there are on some of the most challenging tracks. And my hands survived. Yeah, to give you an idea, I mean, I started that stream with a car that three goes around Nordschleife. Well, the Nordschleife would genuinely kill my hands for at least 20 or 30 minutes. And I was just straight onto another car and another track. So, yeah, they work. They're good. They're very, very good.
Yeah, is it Sparko?
Yeah, these Sparko. So Sparko do make genuine race gloves.
Yeah, that's right.
But these ones are meant for gaming. So they've got holes through here that keep them nice and breezy, holes under here that keep it nice and breezy. You can remove a fingertip type thing for when you need keyboard access or whatever. But yeah, I do have to say they work wonders. So Assetto Corsa Competizione, Project Cars 2. Also took a look at some other things like Gloomy Eyes 1, 2, and 3.
Never heard of it.
Which is another it's another narrative experience. You know, it's just a watching thing. I think VR has some great short films and narratives that go on.
Yeah. Where was this? Where did you find this then?
That one is a Viveport exclusive. So if you do have a Viveport subscription, then definitely check that out.
Yeah.
There's loads of experiences like that. Worthy mentions are things like Coco VR, Crow the Legend, The Great Sea.
I love Invasion.
I gotta say,
Invasion, yeah.
Gaming Legends, he wrote cheaper to wear bandages.
Cheaper to wear bandages. No,
that
dude.
was quality.
Yeah. German Rifter, yes, thank you for watching the video there.
Well, he said he wants to buy them now, so they must be awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they really do. It was really, really made for a good comfort thing. If you do want to do more racing with the steering wheel,
yeah,
your hands can get really, really cramped up, blisters.
Yeah, you get hot in VR anyway, dude. Like, VR is just a very hot experience in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but
I can see that.
if you put those into the mix as well, and you got the actual hand presence in VR, wearing gloves, and you're wearing gloves as well, it actually does add a little bit
I
more
wonder if JD's got
in
them.
there.
I wonder if he's got them. So yeah, this week I played Doctor Who: The Edge of Time on Oculus Quest. Funny enough, there's been some feedback which I had, and then I saw Nathy tweet it as well, that he basically said the port was pretty poor. And I did have some comments on that as well, and I've been asked about it, where some people are reporting issues with the game. Now, all my gameplay was live. So, did you guys play it on the Quest at all, or check it out, or
Which one?
Doctor Who: The Edge of Time?
No.
I was going to have a look at, I think, the new one, the more cartoony one, or the...
No, the one that came
the
out
other
on
one.
PC
Yeah,
and
no.
PlayStation VR.
Oh, right, okay.
Haven't had a look at it.
Yeah.
I can have a look at the other one.
Developer's given me a code. I just haven't had a chance to. Literally, I didn't see his email until Thursday.
Yeah.
And obviously, I had Walking Dead.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Always check your junk email as well, dude. I always check mine. There's always something that slips into there by accident. But there's some areas in that game where you're not supposed to move, and it blacks the screen. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Well, there's an area where you're meant to just stand there and listen to the story for a second. If you lean forward or lean around, the screen it just goes black. Because it happened on my live stream a couple of times, but I figured it out quite quickly. I was like, when I know that particular backdrop isn't quite VR, it's like a flat area and a bit of narrative's happening, just stand still, let it finish, and you can move.
It's like the thing in Darth Vader, where they sort of like move back into your play space, and you're like, "But I'm in the damn play space." Damn you.
Yeah, I don't really know. To be fair, I've not come across that before, but I figured out that's what it was doing, and I didn't really know why it was doing that, but maybe I just avoided it and other people don't and go, why is it doing this? I don't know. But yeah, then we checked out Shadow Legend on PlayStation VR. What an amazing port of that game. Like, really, really impressive. I think it's Vitruvius VR. They absolutely smashed it. Graphically, it's also got extra content as well for the PlayStation version, and I was playing on a Pro, and it had a 30% increase apparently in resolution with the Pro. So I was like,
the OG. Okay.
Yeah, I was really not. I wasn't shocked because I've got to be fair, because I knew. I was impressed because I knew. I think the transition was so smooth. Like, I was expecting high things because the PC version is a really high quality game, to be fair. It's not very long. It's not a very long game, but it's a really enjoyable game. But then it depends what we're talking about. When you talk about length of gameplay in VR, that's a whole other conversation, isn't it? Because a lot of games for years were like 3 hours long. And yet they wanted 30 quid, and people were like, hold on a minute, how does that ever make sense in gaming world? Do you know what I mean? Like, a normal flat game of that particular length would probably be like, I'm not paying that much. But in virtuality, you're kind of happy to. Checked out Assetto Corsa. I think you jumped in that stream as well, Sales, didn't you, for a little while?
I did. I wanted to be able to, unfortunately, I do have to lug out stuff and everything else like that to set up. But hopefully you were having an all right time, but you was definitely finding it's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, that's still on sale on Steam, isn't it? I believe till tomorrow. So if anyone's interested in it, both the standard version and the it's like £3.73. It's an insanely cheap price.
It is, and I know that GT didn't get the full-on deluxe version.
I didn't.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
If you're into it.
I wish I would have.
Yes. Because
the separate downloads are quite expensive in a way.
They are.
Yeah, the Ultimate Edition is £7. I'm just looking at it now. It's actually £7.56.
Get that Ultimate Edition.
Hell. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'll be better buying that.
Exactly. You get that Ultimate Edition. There is a mod manager out there as well.
Yeah.
The mod manager, you do donate something to buy the mod manager. From the mod manager, you then have a load of free mods and paid mods that can expand the hell out of that game even more than it's already expanded. And it's VR versus flat, and it's got really, really good stuff. So that price Buy.
You've actually got a question in the chat about that as well, Salsa. Tasnic Gaming is asking you a question.
Project Cars or Assetto Corsa? Assetto Corsa is 100% better every single day of the week. End of. But Project Cars 2 is an arcadey thing that if you are used to more arcade racing and you don't want to jump into the deep end and find, oh my God, the cars behave like real world cars, and then Project Cars is a good buffer. But I would Project Cars 2, if it's on sale, get that as well. But Assetto Corsa is much better.
What else did we do? We reviewed the Halo strap from GoQuest VR for the Oculus Quest. I absolutely love this thing. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And I did say to anyone who wanted to turn up on this week's show that I would spend a little bit of time going over it, anything they want to know. Because I'll tell you one thing I'll address straight away, and I know for some people it's obvious, but it's all about, the only silly question I guess is one that isn't asked, is the speakers. Some people assume that if you take the temporary strap out or the strap out of this, you'd lose sound. But the sound actually comes out of these fixed hard parts of plastic attached to the Quest. The speakers are built into here. So when you take it, doesn't affect it. It's still exactly the same. It works exactly the same. So yeah, if anyone was really worried about that, hopefully, obviously you don't know these things till afterwards. You know what I mean? You don't. I never necessarily thought of that as a issue. So yeah, to the top, we'll quickly cover that as well in a little while. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and that brings me up to date with what I did this week.
We got there.
How are we doing in the chat? How are we doing in the chat? What's everyone doing, man? It looks busy. Thank you for being here. We've got Patrick Evans, VR Basement.
We've had a few comments about Shadow Legends. Hard to get saying Shadow Legends is okay, far from a AAA though. It's a nice little game, and the DA is quite, I think he's trying to say bland rather than blend.
DA?
But I don't,
What's that mean?
I have no idea, but it's not a AAA game. I mean, we know what a AAA game is, and
yeah,
I think the one thing we kind of get mixed up on is, for a lot of games that are on VR, they're not AAA, they're AA, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I kind of think that VR's picked up the mantle, because one of the really cool things that when I got into PS3 and was playing some older PS2 games, is there was tons and tons of really cool AA games, and they just kind of went missing. You know, these were games that, like GT was saying, were like 3 or 4 hours, but you got a lot of enjoyment and you got a lot of fun out of them, and they kind of just went out the window. And I think actually VR has actually brought that style of game back. And it's, how many of these AA games have we had? I mean, I'd class like Beat Saber as a AA game, and look how insanely well that's done.
I think a AAA, in a way, you associate with AAA development studios as well.
Yeah, a big studio.
For Truvius, I've only ever actually interacted with one guy. I don't know how many people even developed that game. But the reason I said it so amazing, I think I bear that in mind. I think it was, how much was it to buy? I think it was around the £20 mark. I don't think it was like a massively expensive game. It had interactions, which a lot of games don't. Like you can pick up vegetables and feed the animals and break carps and all these other things that some games miss out on. There was a bit of attention to detail. I just thought it was a really good game.
They're saying 2 people developed it.
Really? No way. 2 people? Well, bro, that is incredible. Like, that even puts it even higher. I'm like, that's crazy. That game, I think that game's really good. I did enjoy it. And it's also, if you're like a fan of Zelda as well, the boss fight's pretty cool at the end. It reminds me of a certain boss fight. Who else have we got? Anyone? Not Savage. Yeah, rest in peace, Code Bryant. Yeah.
Tasnic saying about Google Earth VR that he's tried it via Oculus Link.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed that. I've played that not long after I got the Link thing, because somebody was saying about it, and that's a lot of fun.
It's quite unforgettable, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you go to your area.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. LSB, how you doing? Patrick Evans, reinstalling The Walking Dead right now. Oh, yeah, because some people come across an issue with installing that game. They was getting to like 80% or something, and it was just not going any further.
Yeah, eating back the game when it got to it. You ended up with it does whatever and it unpacks. When it unpacks, it gets up to 66 gigs, and then it just goes.
Fair enough.
It's awkward though, isn't it? Because if you haven't had the issue, it's hard to talk about it because you know what I mean. I think it was what's his name? Walter Plank. I speak to him sometimes. He had a weird one. He put a screenshot up earlier. I don't know what was going on with his. He was like, "Is anyone else experiencing this?" And it looked like, you know, when someone does a through the lens picture of a headset, it looked like that. It looked like he had the black borders, but they were in the game. And I was like, man, I don't know. Not had those issues. So, you know what I'm going to do now? You know what I'm going to do now? Because I do enjoy doing this.
News?
It
We
might
just
be.
have. It definitely is.
It was. And I was going to do it twice
It
by
was.
accident. Yeah, so, VR news. What have we got this week? And we are going to obviously talk about The Walking Dead. But The Walking Dead Saint Sinners is coming to PSVR, and the Quest, they put out a tweet saying that PSVR is coming in spring 2020, and it's coming in Q4 of 2020 for the Oculus Quest. So, I think that'd be an impressive hit on Quest.
I don't know how. I was actually saying that in my chat when I was playing it today. I was like, I really don't know how they're going to put this in PlayStation VR, especially for the controls.
I don't know. I mean, the moves. I mean, you think of Killing Floor. To be fair, I know actually that's a bad game to go to you at. But if you can get those controls down, you can do everything in that game you can do in any VR game pretty much. There is weapons on your back, on your sides. When I speak to developers and they're making a game similar to, I guess, The Walking Dead, I would actually say, don't go look at Skyrim. Look at Killing Floor, and I'm not saying it's easy. The move controllers aren't easy. We know that. But yeah, I think if you can do something in Killing Floor with the moves, then you could do that. Yeah, I think they could make it work. But I mean, from my point of view, the Quest, I was thinking like that is a big game. It seems like a massive game to play, and I think it'll do amazing on the Quest. I think it really will. I think it'll sell. Yeah, and PSVR needs some mental games coming up. Do you know what I mean? What we got? What have we got coming? So we've got Sniper Elite, Iron Man VR. What other big ones?
Paper Beast.
Paper Beast.
Paper Beast. Sony have already been pushing that. But yeah, there isn't a huge plethora of PlayStation VR titles. I mean, like I say, I hope they get it right. I
think they will. I know. Like, we're going to quickly go over the crouching update. People were talking about this crouching issue before I put my spin on it. Basically, and it was thanks to Kaz and Shari. They put out a tweet. Basically, over on Steam. They've put out handgun and pistol angle adjustments and an alpha version of physical crouch. So yeah, that's in there. If you want me to send you the link to that, because what you're going to do is open your game user settings in a certain file and basically change something, and there'll be an alpha version of.
Well, that's actually, if you go to the, when you load up the Oculus page on your computer, not the actual Oculus page, but the Oculus app. Yeah. If you go to your games or your library and then go to updates, Walking Dead will be there with an update. If you click on what's new, they actually have a fully detailed thing of what you need to do to get that integrated.
Hold on, the guys are saying the sound's crackly.
Yeah, you was crackling. Something on your headset was crackling the sound out.
Is it crackling now?
No, it's fine.
I'll tell you what. Hold on. Wait. Let me turn this off.
Hey, JD's there. Hi, JD.
Oh, there's JD. He's back.
He is.
I don't know.
You can
if
ask him.
this
You
will
can
make-
ask him about your gloves now.
I don't know if this make any difference. I don't know if is it just me that's crackling. Was it?
It was just you that's crackling.
All right. I do apologise to anyone sensitive to crackling sounds. You know, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening in this Bluetooth and all that stuff. So, yeah. How you doing, JD? I hope you checked out Sousa's racing gloves. So yeah, they're already hard at work. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is that Skydance are hard at work. They're listening to the community and are trying to get it sorted. And there's already like an alpha thing of that. Now, personally, I'm going to put my spin on this. I didn't really care about the crouching. And I don't know whether that's because of my background in PSVR more so than being in PSVR.
No, I get where the crouching thing comes from as well, but I do like there is a crouch button that is actually associated here. Because some might say also, well, I don't want there to be a crouch button. Full stop and just do physical crouching, but I can't always do it. You know, I'm quite a big guy. I'm tall. I weigh quite a lot. Instantly getting down to crouch on something on some VR games, especially when you're bigger as well, that can really impact on like your knees and do you some serious damage or your back as well. So having a button to actually help me do that lower crouch is a good thing. There are some times where I just want to duck under something, and not being able to duck under a smaller thing.
Yeah, I think like that
annoying.
Terminus, Project Terminus VR, Oculus Quest, I had to really crouch down to like get through a certain space.
Yeah.
But do you know another funny thing? You just reminded me of something. Funny thing is, I'm glad about the crouch button one because I do a leg day and I do a lot of walking. At the moment, I have no car, so I'm cycling and walking, and then I'm standing, streaming for 2 hours. And the other day, I could actually feel it in my legs. I was like, dude, like my legs need to step up. The last thing I want to do is be squatting while doing a video game. So, but I understand it. You know, it's for that immersion, and I completely get it. And I think the best thing is to have the best of both. So
yeah, options are always a great thing. I mean, when I played it today, I mean, I'm a bit like Salsa. I have back issues. I definitely have knee issues. You know, if I have to kneel down and something, I ain't getting up without people helping me up. As simple as that. But yeah, it's the same thing with turning. I think, you know, having smooth turning, having snap turning, like I prefer personally snap turning.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, smooth turning does sometimes make me ill. It depends on the game.
Probably depends on the frame rate.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, give people options. I've always been a big proponent of that. If you give people options, let them decide what they wanna do. Again, you know, I know we'll get onto Half-Life Alyx. Again, that's one of the things that I was really excited when I read about Half-Life Alyx. You know, that they're giving a ton of options. They're going to give you smooth turning, snap turning, teleportation, smooth locomotion, and variants. So, like I say, you know, they're trying to appeal to as many people as possible. And, you know, some people can't do smooth walking. It makes them ill. Some people like me can't do smooth turning because it makes them ill. So, like I say, fantastic options. And yeah, like I say, I had a ton of fun with Walking Dead, and obviously we'll get into more about that after the news.
Yeah, I'm 100% on options as well. Give options. If any developer out there, if you have a situation where you go, oh well, we've got this thing, do we do that or that? Go, if there is a do that or that, oh, can we make that as an option?
Do you know what would really help? And I think it's weird. I know we've obviously come quite far and we now have labels to certain controls, but it's very important to get them controls labelled right so people know what we're talking about. We've gone through games over the years now, and I'm happy to say that because I've been doing it years, of just random names for stuff that you couldn't even, I personally, I couldn't even make up something. You go down the gym, you see someone making up an exercise, you're like, where did you get that from? I couldn't have even made that up with that particular machine. So it's quite genius in a way. But I think someone said in the chat that crouching has been the word of the week. I just like that comment. I mean that's awesome. Because how often do you say the word crouching? Crouching. It just sounds weirder the more you say it.
A crouching amount of times, apparently.
Yes. Yeah. So apart from that, let's quickly talk about The Walking Dead as well. Everyone in the chat, I know some people have got it. What are your reasons not to get it in the chat? I'd really love to hear your reasons behind it, and I'd like to hear your two guys' reasons of why you did get it and what you think about it.
Well, I've only just got it the other day because I was doing racing games most of the week. Birthday thing, and then unfortunately was ill on Friday. So I was working, blah, 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 blah. Thought, right, okay, I can get this now, and then was ill.
Right. Yeah, so you had your birthday. You had your birthday cake.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
Birthday cake, small of. Got lots of different chocolate and stuff for people at work, which we still got sweets and stuff.
Does anyone else get that then in their workplace? That if it's your birthday, you buy everyone else stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why no one knows when my birthday is. Also, I'm not at work.
I don't have birthdays.
I set standards on how long the amount of stuff will last. Okay. So we've still got, and we'll still have basically, it'll be finished next week, I think. So there'll be a sweet supply for 1 to 2 weeks.
Right.
That happens for the whole of the office.
VR
Because we sometimes have people out of the office.
This is what I'm saying. Is that the same everywhere? Because VR Grid, he's from Canada. He's put that's dumb. Which to me, this is normal. Yeah. When I first got I've always worked outdoors pretty much. All the blokes I work with swear a lot. Probably quite aggressive, I guess, manly men and all that crap. And yeah, I remember it was my birthday, and I was like, "Oh," and they went, "Where's the cake, son?" I'm like, "What cakes? What's your birthday? You get the cakes." And I remember thinking, and every birthday I've had till now, everyone buys me stuff. So yeah, like that's just part and parcel of what is happening.
No, you got to do it. It's got to be done. It's nice to see everybody else go, "Oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, whose birthday is it? Oh, happy birthday, thank you. Have a chocolate."
The VR Grid, I've never heard of that ridiculous, clearly communist practice.
Socialist, so not communist.
German Rifter says, no birthday cake for me, but I got a happy birthday song. You did get a birthday. Yeah, I love singing people happy birthday. Even people I don't talk to very much. We got from Facebook, Kev Ainsworth. How you doing, man? He says crouch button all day long nicely. It seems like a lot of people are actually liking the idea of having a crouch button as an option.
Yeah.
Gaming Legend says you get the bumps or buy the drinks on birthdays at work. No one can pick me up, so that's ain't giving me the bumps.
Yes, there needs to be options because I'm a 41-year-old game designer with bad knees. I can use the back of my couch for crouched aiming. Try that, it works. Oh, cool, man. Cool. Options are always good. Nice. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Thank you. PSVR coming soon. Are we talking about The Walking Dead? I'm assuming they're talking about
yeah. There's a lot of people saying that they haven't got a PC, so that's why they haven't got The Walking Dead.
It won't be long.
It'll be out there. So if it's going to be on everything,
and somebody's asked GT if you've actually finished The Walking Dead yet.
Do you know what? Honestly, if I hadn't worked 24 hours this weekend, I probably would have attempted it live.
How long is the game?
I don't even know. There is a thing out there, isn't there? I'm sure.
Does anyone know in the chat? Is anyone in the chat actually finished the game?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how long it is. I generally do not know how long it is. I've watched other people's streams on it as well because I'm quite early on in the game. Like I said, I only just got it and started playing today, so I'm only a couple of hours in. But as first impressions, it's stunning. It's immaculately made. Control scheme seems solid. The options seem pretty solid. The options on PC for what you can do with graphical details, movement is pretty solid. The crouch button thing, I was a bit sort of like, that was weird because if you actually try to physically crouch,
that's what I was going to say.
It moves you up.
Well, no, yeah, it felt like the world then stayed up.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me.
It did actually shift. It shifted me up.
Yeah.
So I got to go down to a certain level, and it let me go down to a certain level, and then it suddenly shot me back up. And I was like, that wasn't good.
Yeah. So I posted on Reddit like a picture of this claw thing I picked up, Wolverine claw, and it was like some people hadn't even heard of the game. It's really weird. Like on Reddit, I was like, "What game is this?" And I'm like, "It's Walking Dead." You know what I mean? And then some bloke it's the worst game ever or something. I was like, oh no, like why am I picking? You know what I mean? And then you got to have a conversation. In the end, it's not the worst game ever. They're actually, they didn't mean what they wrote. It was just, a knee-jerk reaction thing. And you're like, all right, okay, I'm just wasting my time trying to convert another person to actually looking at the game properly and enjoying it. There is a comment that I highlight and I miss it. I think it comes from Charles Mallory. It is his wife's birthday today, so happy birthday to Mrs. Mallory.
To his wife.
Awesome.
Yes, happy birthday to the other person.
So yeah, we're getting the comments between 11 and 15 hours. So yeah, I mean, I heard 16 to 18.
I've played an hour and a half of it. That's pretty much what I've got. Again, a bit like Salsa, highly impressed visually. It's really good. It's the creepiest game that I've played since Resident Evil 7. In fact, I said during my stream, if it can carry on at this sort of level, it could surpass Resident Evil 7, in my opinion, which to me, Resident Evil 7 is the #1 game still. It feels like a Walking Dead game should feel. The zombies feel like Walking Dead zombies. I said that I only before the chat started, I only got one gripe because I didn't quite realise it. You know the little watch going round about the bells?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of thought this was kind of an open world game. So when I'm playing it, I must have spent about 10 or 15 minutes once the bells went off, sort of thinking, okay, well, I'll just wait in the top of this house until, the clock restarts. I didn't realise it was a timed run. You've only got a certain amount of time to actually get your mission done and get back to the boat.
Yeah.
What happens?
So
I've been.
They actually say, one of them says about that. Obviously, there was a distortion there again.
Does that happen
Sorry,
again?
GT. Yeah. It's. I think something's just a little bit on a connection that's just decided to distort now.
Is it my mic?
Yeah.
Only. Right. Okay. So you can talk for a minute. I'm going to reset the thing.
So that was my only issue, that it didn't make it very clear, at least to me. Maybe it did, and I wasn't paying that much attention. But I didn't understand that it wasn't a more open world. I mean, maybe it will as the game progresses. It'll get up more open.
It'd be amazing if it did.
But like I say, it was. I just kind of figured, okay, I've got to get to this point. But obviously, I've now figured, because obviously, initially I was like 10 minutes, and then I was like, okay, I'm bored, and then literally I just got swarmed by zombies and eaten
and died.
But yeah, I now know that. So as I always say when I do my first playthrough, it is a first impression. But I will, it makes sense to stream this game again.
If nothing else come out this week, I'd play it all the time.
Yeah, the music is fantastic. It really adds to the atmosphere. It's pretty good for its spatial sound. I think it needs a little bit of work there, not much, because there was a bit where I was getting sound from what felt like behind me, and it was actually in front of me. But yeah, like I say, the reason I got it, because you were asking, well, why did people get it? The reason I went for it is because it is a single-player narrative-driven story, and I love single-player narrative-driven stories.
Yeah.
Whether it's a normal game or a VR game, I haven't watched the Walking Dead show in a long time, but I did enjoy the Walking Dead show when I was watching it. I can't remember the reason why I stopped watching.
I enjoyed up to like a certain series, then I left it, and then I went back to it, and then Negan was in it, and then I realised that for some reason he seems really badass, but then he lets everyone get away with stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm out.
Controversially, when it comes to the show, I think I've seen 2 episodes, and that's it.
I don't think you really.
I-
You don't need to watch it though to know.
No,
this
you
game.
don't need
It's
to
got
know
nothing-
anything about the TV show.
Yeah. To
It-
want to get the game. Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that I will say, my sort of like closing statement on this, because I really want to hear what you two guys have to say a lot more, is this kind of feels like the evolution of Arizona Sunshine. Arizona Sunshine was a fun zombie game from 3 years ago, but in reality, apart from bringing it out for the Oculus Quest, obviously, you couldn't really do that style of zombie game now.
See,
Because
I'm
VR's moved.
I'm feeling
forward.
something different from it, which is another zombie game, PS4. Oh, they're just bringing out
VR?
a seat. Sorry,
VR.
not VR,
Not
non-VR.
Okay.
What, Resident Evil 3?
No. It was a survivalist one, more open world.
What, single player?
Rust?
Multiplayer, single player narrative,
DayZ?
multiplayer.
The Last of Us?
I'd have to bring. No, hang on.
Are they
I have to bring
Contagion?
up my
Contagion?
PS4 now.
Look, they're all guessing now.
I'll have. Yeah, they're all guessing now because there's so many zombies games out there.
Zombie
I was never
U?
a big zombie.
Joe, want to
that
play
that was
another
one on
zombie
the
game?
that was on the Wii, I believe, first of all, wasn't it? Days Gone. Look, they're all hang on.
Hang on.
Zombie
hang
U is
on,
actually a
hang on.
really fun game.
Zombie
Plus,
U
it's
is
actually
very
set, but it's also set in the UK, so I always like that.
Oh, that's a good one. State of Decay.
No, State of Decay.
Hold on, you got it?
Yeah.
I'm just pulling out my PlayStation so I can find out what one it was.
Oh, nice.
Come
Yeah,
on,
man.
GT. Let's hear your thoughts on it.
Um,
let's
I
hear
think it's
yours.
absolutely amazing. I think there's elements in there. It reminds me of Fallout a little bit. Reminds me of The Last of Us. It just reminds me of really great games. It is nice to have a single player narrative game. I'm absolutely digging it. Like, as I said to you before, I could stay in this game for a long time. Not many games have gripped me like this one, where I'm loving. I'm still exploring, obviously, because I don't know whether I made some
Dying Light. There you go.
Dying Light, yes, that was the one that Preacher said about, actually. Dying Light is a fantastic game.
That's what it's reminding me of in terms of things of having crafting systems and everything else in
Yeah.
there. That is what it's reminding me of. If it went the same way, and I think that's where Nat was saying about the open world thing, and maybe if he hid somewhere and then waited for the sunrise, that reminded me of
Yeah,
Dying
so I
Light
didn't know
a
you
bit as
couldn't
well.
do that. I didn't know
No,
that
well-
wouldn't happen.
Well, the great thing with Dying Light
So what are you saying?
is
Are you saying that if you stayed in that town and the beat goes off, what happens?
nothing. You
You-
just wait.
you-
Nothing.
You wait and get swarmed.
Yeah, so what happens the next day though? Like, is that
Nothing. There is no next day.
There is no next day. You're going to be dead
What happens if you survive?
You don't,
if you survive.
because you'll just be sitting there for hours. That's the thing I didn't get initially. That you've only got the time that watch goes around. When that watch goes off, you know, that final fourth beat,
Yeah.
you have to get back to your boat.
Yeah, I did, and there was loads of them after me. At one point in the stream, I was just like, "What is going on?" The bell had gone off, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden they just appeared, and they're coming at you, and I run to the boat, and it was fine. But I didn't know that. That
Yeah,
sounds
I
a bit.
didn't.
That sounds a bit weird. Like for a game that's going for, like that, it seems like a bit more realism, a bit more survival.
Yeah, but
it is
you
everlasting
do
night.
have to get back to your. You have to get back to your boat.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, right, is if you survived, if I managed to fight off every zombie, because in that game, I don't know if you've got to it yet, later on, you can cover yourself in zombie guts and walk around with the zombies. For I don't know how long for, because I also think, I was going to ask
Well,
you
you'll have
guys.
to test it out. We'll have to test. Has somebody managed to survive the whole night?
I
in
don't
chat?
know. That's what I mean. And like, have you noticed your voice is echoing? When there's certain areas that are like a house or not a wide area, a smaller area, I can hear an echo in my headset. Now, I've not heard this in a game before, which made me wonder, are they picking up my voice?
They are.
If I'm walking around in that game and I'm chatting to my like what it was, yeah, I found Honosaurus helped me loads. I was trying to rub the bloody zombie guts on my arm because nothing else was making this meter move. And basically, he said it's like when you do the bandage, which is a great mechanic. You've got to wrap it around your arm. It's not just a case of...
Careful with too many spoilers. Don't spoil it.
Well, that's about it. Sorry, man. If I didn't mean that. But I spoke. I was fully immersed in guts. And my screen's red, and I'm like, brilliant! Here comes one of the silly-looking bald zombies. I was going, all right, mate, and he just went for me. I was like, no, I'm one of your friends. We're mates. How'd that happen? So, yeah,
it's because you tried to talk to him and go, all right, mate.
Yeah, he probably thought
he's gone.
Exactly. Yes. So yeah, that's what he did, and that's the one. No worries, VR Basement. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was just mechanics. I didn't
mechanics.
But yeah, apart from that, I think this game is absolutely amazing. I think it's definitely delivered on everything I hoped for from the trailers. That was, I know we had this gameplay trailer turn up, and that pretty much in a way sold me on it anyway. I sort of, from watching this gameplay trailer that most people saw, I remember thinking, this game's going to be legit, but it's definitely deeper. I love hoarding. I love looking for items to make other items. I love the unlockable bench. And I also hope that when you do unlock all those items, that the game doesn't stop somehow. I really hope it doesn't. I really hope it carries on and you can stay in that world and use all that stuff that you've collected. I don't,
Well, hopefully they'll do a new game plus or something. That's usually what a lot of the games do, God of War and stuff like that. And but quickly going back to, like I say, being stuck and people bringing up Dying Light, that's pretty much what I thought it was, because one of the great things I always thought about Dying Light was the mechanic that it had, that you can stay, obviously during night it became a lot more dangerous to be out and running around in Dying Light, but I love the mechanic is that you could stay safe in an area in Dying Light, and obviously it'll be the same with Dying Light 2. But if you did venture out, the rewards were significant. So you had to take the thing of, okay, do I try and go out at night,
lose all your gear,
but possibly get killed or whatever, because it's a lot harder to survive. But I might be able to get a lot more stuff, or do I just cower and wait until the day and then come out? So
Simon Thurman,
it's fantastic.
But can you imagine how deflated Servius is feeling? I don't know if you know, Simon, I've played that game. Have you two played that one from Servius, Onslaught?
No, because that you are one of the very, very privileged few on that one.
But it's different, isn't it? It's co-op. There's co-op in that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 4-player. I think I'm getting that confused. I don't know if that's 4-player, or is it Until the Fall? Until the Fall's 4-player, I think.
Yeah,
but
I think if they can get a like a Left 4 Dead vibe out of Walking Dead Onslaught, I think that will I think that will change it enough that if you want the narrative driven, you go with Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. But if you want the more arcadey
that is exactly what it is.
But I think Onslaught will be the one.
That's a bit of the reason why Servius has been got the license for a Walking Dead game, even though there's another developer that has a license for Walking Dead game, is the arcade output for that.
Yeah, he's very violent as well. That's the thing. I think, like, I loved all. How can I put it? It even seemed more arcadey. Like this graphic style. Someone was saying. Someone said they loved the art style.
I love this graphic style.
It's very different. It almost looks more high res, more arcadey, definitely. And you've also got, like, in the beginning of this game, in the tutorial, when you stick a knife in, you'll see it give you like a X-ray image of showing you that you've got to put some basically velocity behind it to get those stabs. I also found that depends on the weapon. Like if the weapon's a bit heavier or a bit sharper or something.
Well, it's got all of the physics bases coming in again. So a lot of people are doing this. And this is one of the things I really did like about Walking Dead, and what sold it to me when I started seeing people streaming it was that, yes, you have physics based in here, you have weight, You have the
Yeah,
same sort of
love
weight
that.
thing going on, where it slows your arms down more than it makes wobbly. I find some of the physics in this nicer or more pleasant feeling than, say, what we've got in Boneworks.
Oh,
Some of the
okay.
physics, some of the physics in here, I find a lot more satisfying and a lot more refined than Boneworks.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing I thought of was Gorn when I was playing it. Like the two-handed weapons in Gorn just feel rubbery.
Yeah.
And this feels like there's actual proper, I don't know how they've done it, but it actually, like you were saying, Salsa, they've actually figured out a way to kind of give weapons weight
Oh yeah.
really well. So
It's the mix of a game that you I didn't think it was yourself and Lincoln weren't into, which was Until You Fall. That's actually got a similar mechanic in terms of making you feel the weight.
Yeah.
It's a mix between that and what you have in Lone Echo and what you have in Boneworks. It's taken elements of all of them and streamlined them, and that's one of the things that I think is they've got particularly well in this game.
Yeah, one of the things that I now note in games is that if you've got a massive, like when I played Undead Citadel, which is another game that looks absolutely gorgeous, plays really well, but one of the feedbacks I gave to the developer was it's almost like Golden Axe in places. The weapons in Undead Citadel, it is a giant hammer. It was huge, but it was a paperweight, and as much as it looks like you're doing damage, don't get me wrong, it does, and it wouldn't matter if you're not in VR.
But you could wave your whisk.
Yeah, I could do it as quick
like
as I wanted,
this.
and it would just react to it. And it was like, I said to him,
It's like,
oh,
no,
man, I don't know. It's a very clever thing what they're doing. Yeah, Until You Fall has it, this has it, and Boneworks has it, and I'm sure other games do as well. And it's something.
But it's
that just adds to the realism.
Half-Life Alyx will have it.
Yeah, you can't.
But
in a way,
true.
We're starting to get to a point where you can't not have it, almost.
Yeah, it will get that way. It's the extent of which they do it as well. Like I say, for me, Walking Dead has actually managed to do this better than Boneworks.
Yeah. Oh right. Okay. I thought it was pretty much on par. But would you suggest of what you've played? Would you recommend this game?
For what I've played, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would I. I think I've done about 4 hours, roughly, maybe a bit more.
It's one of those games. I think you jump in and you immediately go, yeah, I can see this.
Yeah, it is awesome. See you later. See you later, everyone who's left earlier. Sorry.
The quality of the feel and everything is great.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, so there you go. The Walking Dead Crouch update. If you want to go and check that out, it is available in an alpha. The notes are on Steam. Let me look for the next thing, which I might not have done, which I did. Is that To the Top was released on SideQuest for Oculus Quest.
What have I been saying for a long time that the developers should do?
Yeah.
Been saying it for a long time.
via itch.io.
That's what I said that they should do.
Yeah, $15 I think it is for this game, but I don't think you get the multiplayer component of the game, which, to be fair, is one of the great things about this. But if it's not having that and not having the game or whatever, there's no, you have to have the game. It's an absolutely brilliant game. It was very, very unfortunate and a very crazy decision.
Well, no one can understand it. That's the thing.
That it didn't get on the Oculus Store officially. I'll never understand it. I love this game. I love the music. I love the art style. Someone said that the levels were too simple, or they're something like that in my stream. They said it was an idiotic setup and stuff, but no, it's not like that at all. I think it's a wonderful game. And when I jumped back in it this week, I was reminded how amazing this game is, and how I'm hoping people pick it up. I really do, because not everyone has SideQuest. Not everyone really understands it. They're not interested in it. It's an extra thing that isn't official.
I've got to admit, I'd be interested to find out from the developer, how how popular it's been through itch.io.
Yeah, I mean, I can ask Dan anyway at any time. I know Dan. So yeah. Oh, cool. I know what you're saying, Salsa. Sorry, man. Yeah, thank you ever so much for the donation from Scott. Playing.
Mike's gone again.
Mike's going in. I'm going to say that for JT there. Thank you, Scott, for the $5. Looking forward to playing. Yeah, it's totally broken up there, dude. I think you got something interfering with it. Saints and Sinners, once they patch to allow you to stream with virtual desktop. Cool. But thank you for that. GT is obviously got a little bit of I think an issue. Something is
What about
interfering
now?
with his mic. Very strange that's
Can you hear me now?
Obviously we share the same type of mic.
You guys can. They
where
can't.
else was he? What was he talking about there, Nat?
I was talking about the lack of multiplayer on.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, can hear now.
Right. Okay. So I'm actually using the A50 microphone now. I'm not sure about that. Why that's doing that today? It's done it before, but it was a long time ago.
Maybe there's something else radio based that's interfering, but we'll figure that out, I'm sure.
The weird thing was then. Hold on. What the hell? What have I done? Hold on. What have I done? What have I done? I've lost the Zoom chat.
It's
We've all frozen.
No, we're good. We can hear you.
I'm okay.
Hold on. There you go. Oh, that was scary.
Well,
You're
that
back.
pulls me at a strange point over there.
Oh, I was like, what is going on? Yeah, sorry, completely my bad where I'm messing up. Do apologise. Hello, Nate Peterson.
Panic button. Oh, that's funny.
What's that?
The video playing in the middle where I just look back and see that was panic button.
Oh man, yeah,
It's
it
sort of
would
like
feel like that.
GT press the panic button.
Yeah, like you think it was so simple doing something like this, and it really isn't. It's
No,
like, yeah, I froze the whole meeting. Yeah, basically, I need to have. We use a service called Zoom. When I went on F Reality, I was trying to. We was having problems using Skype where our heads, well, not mine actually, luckily, but their heads would take turns in dancing, and then when Lincoln joined the show, it seemed to get worse. So yeah, I've turned myself down now. Thank you ever so much for that. So yeah, hopefully that's at a normal level now. I'm trying to figure out where the guys are to where I am.
You're a bit higher than us.
I should be all right now. I should be just about right. Hopefully, if I can get that straight. So yeah, to the top. If you haven't already, please check it out. It's a fantastic game. I'm really glad the guys have brought it out. It says Panic Button, but I think it's Electric Hat, isn't it? The developers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Panic Button were the publishers.
I think they did the PlayStation VR version, didn't they?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking to myself. I've had no mention of Panic Button with this one. So we've got another game coming up. I'm going to run it as a full screen trailer because personally, I've not heard of this. Thank you ever so much, guys, for helping me in the chat. I've had a very long weekend. A game called Covert. So we're just going to run a full screen trailer of this one. Check this out quickly, and we will see you in a second.
So what do you think? Are they in the club?
These two? I'd say they earned it.
Then let me be the first to welcome you into the League of Thieves.
And now that I've seen you work together, this might just be the first job of many.
Multiplayer, but
Alright, cool. So that was a game called Covert by White Elk Studios, the developers behind Eclipse, The Edge of Light, which I did play the other week. I think it's quite an older game, which was for the Go, I believe. And apparently this game is for the Go as well.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Edge of Light. I didn't like the first half, and I told the developer that. We spoke about it. but I really got into the second half, and it was pretty cool. So Covert is coming to PSVR. Oh, have you guys played this on the Oculus Go at all? Because you might be able to give me some feedback on it.
No.
No. Okay, so it's coming to PSVR February 25th. It first launched on Oculus Go. It offers asymmetric gameplay by the way of a mobile companion app, which supports Android and Apple. Boasting 6 hours of gameplay, you can play as either the thief in VR or as the hacker on a mobile device. The objective is to pull off a series of high-profile heists by using gadgets to infiltrate heavily guarded facilities in virtual reality. Although Covert is geared more towards couch co-op, online play is also possible through the companion app. I thought that sounds pretty good. And there was another game that was like that, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. Black Hat. Black
You've
Hat.
got a couple of games that have sort of like isometric.
Well, the Akron did isometrical.
Akron. What's the other one with the death character that you play in VR and something else?
Here's a game. So there is a game called Black Hat Cooperative, which is on PlayStation, which I played. So what would happen with that particular game is I think the person on the outside would be able to see the entire map and like I don't know, lasers and stuff you'd have to get, and the person in virtuality couldn't see that, so you had to sort of communicate or something like that. I can't, it was something along those lines. It was actually quite good. So the idea of local couch co-op can work pretty well. And what's the other one that's good with the bomb? Nobody talks. Everybody explodes.
No, it's the other way around, isn't it?
Nobody talks. Everybody explodes. I'm sure it is.
Something like that. I can't remember what the name is.
He's getting mixed up a bit there. Nobody talk. Everybody explodes. Maybe, or
keep talking and nobody explodes.
Keep talking and nobody explodes.
Keep talking. Nobody talks, everybody explodes. That's not wrong, though, is it? If no one talks, everyone's going to die. So I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong, but you're not right.
But I am an idiot. So yeah, cool. Thank you, Patrick. Nice. This is Renz. Oh, yeah, sorry, Nat, you were saying we had a comment.
This is Renz was asking why do some games not appear in the Oculus Quest store? They're rejected, because obviously we've had some pretty big titles. I mean, obviously to the top, none of us can understand that. Was it Touring Carts? I think got rejected. And obviously one that makes no sense to me, makes even less sense than to the top, is Pixel Rip 1989.
I was waiting for you to say
especially when Pixel Rip 1995 is coming.
Yeah, I can understand touring carts because if you play, for me on the PC, I think there's alignment issues with hands and tracking and stuff like that. They have to sort out and should be a part of the whole process of getting things right. And when a developer messes something up, and I've said to that developer as well, this isn't working. They went, oh, maybe you tried an old version of the game. And I went, no, it's still there. It's still a problem. And that hasn't happened. They are updating other things in the game, but Pixel Ripped, I don't understand that decision either.
The thing is, Oculus have turned around, and they said it before, obviously, the Oculus Quest launched, that they were going to do a curation on it. They were going to be a lot stricter than they were on PC. I think the issue that we're getting is there doesn't seem... the one thing I always kind of think back to is Strange Game Studios, where they submitted a lot of the Honor and Duty D-Day to Sony. And Sony, kept coming back to them saying, you can't do this. This isn't good for you. If you want to submit it to us again, you need to fix this. From what I understand, and maybe GT, you'll be able to talk more about this, because as you say, you have conversations with the developer. From what I understand, Oculus do not do that. Oculus don't turn around and say, you need to fix this. If you want it on our store, you need to fix this. They don't give that information. They just turn around and say, we're not going to put it on the store. They don't actually give reasons about why it is. So the developer's kind of in limbo. It's like, well, I want to get this game on the store, but what do I do? What do you want me to fix to get it on there? And
Well,
as GTs, you add to the top, they gave you an early code for it, and you said it worked amazing.
so basically, just quickly, right? So in the Discord today, when I was at work, it's weird Discord. You can go on there, have a little chat, or maybe no one's in there for a few hours. Today there was a flood of messages, and it was all basically between Bitey, Kyle, and Daniel from End Dreams, and they were basically talking about exactly this, the curation process. And Daniel from End Dreams said a lot of it is frame rate. Your game to Oculus can never go below that 72 frames per second. It's got to stay, which I think is reasonable. Yeah, I mean, the curation process is another conversation altogether. I can see good sides of both of these conversations. Where Kyle, I think, don't quote me on this, Kyle was basically saying he wanted freedom. Put anything on there, to a point. And Bitey was like, no, I like the curation process because I know I've got to sift through loads of bad games to maybe find a potentially good game because there's thousands on Steam. So yeah, I mean, I can see that, because the Quest, obviously they're trying to make sure that if you pick up a Quest, you're guaranteed a decent experience.
But that requires clarity on what the process is. And
Yeah.
if the process isn't really known and somebody gets no, you're not getting in without we're not letting you in because you've got this problem or this problem or this problem, that is different to going, no, sorry, rejected.
Yeah.
And that's what you can't get. And I can understand if you've got performance spikes where you've got frame rate issues, that's a no.
Yeah, but it wasn't that with To the Top. I can't remember exactly what it was.
That's what I'm saying as well.
But I'm pretty
sure. Point. They haven't been clear over their process or
Windlands. No one talks about Windlands, but Windlands could easily have got on the store.
Yeah, but it wasn't To the Top. I'm sure when that was first announced, I think you said, and I might be completely wrong, but I'm sure you said that the reason, Oculus said that the game was more like a demo rather than a game. And that was their reason
right.
for...
It was something like that, yeah.
It was something like that, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
They did give a reason, but it was a reason that made
no sense.
No sense.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
I do remember me saying that, actually.
If Pixel Ripped has got performance issues, Pixel Ripped 1989 had performance issues and FPS reasons. I'm sort of like, go back and go... There, we've picked up this FPS problem here. You need to look at your optimization and make sure that you're hitting that and smashing it every time on our hardware.
Yeah.
And Anna, she will go back and do that work and get that done.
So if you're interested in knowing a bit more about To the Top and why all this happened back in the day, I made a video because, like Nat was saying, I know Electric Hat because we've done an interview with them for To the Top on the PSVR, on an old chat show I used to be on, and we just stayed in contact. He got an Oculus Quest as well, so we was chatting away on there as friends, and he was like, the game's ready to go, and I was like, cool, man. It's going to be a bit of a channel exclusive for me in a way, like to do it together, play it together, because multiplayer was in there. Me and him, we're going to introduce the game. Everyone will be like, what the hell is this? Hopefully, and it'd be quite exciting. But what happened was a day later, he found out. So the game was made then on the Quest, ready. The version I played was the game from, oh God, when would it have been? July? June?
Yeah, it was only a couple of months after the Quest launched.
Yeah, so the game was done. It was ready, and I know this has happened to others, where and it all did kick off on Twitter, where developers, I guess, were lined up as launch titles, in that window, and then they're told by whoever took over the "you can be allowed on the store" thing that they wouldn't make it in the end, and they've already put in those hours and that time to develop a version of the game. So I haven't actually played the one on SideQuest store. Someone said to me the menus are a bit different now. So
I just want to say we've got somebody in the chat, Cerebral Frost, and he's just saying, just so you know, we never got dinged on frame rate. So I don't know who if Cerebral Frost wants to tell us what game he was working on. Obviously, he's a developer.
yeah,
I'm not too sure. Do you know the guy?
I know that name. Please forgive me. I've not had much sleep for the last 3 days, so my brain is very. I'm surprised I'm actually managing to talk properly at the moment. Yeah.
Also, Paradise Decay is saying, wait a minute, if it was frame rate, how did Doctor Who get through? Lots of people having performance issues.
That's true as well. Yeah. Some people said, I think someone wrote to me and said they fell through the world in that game. Like they went
Jesus.
somewhere and they just fell out the game. So I don't know. You know, they probably thought it's part of Doctor Who as well because it's so like mental. But like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah. So Cerebral Frost, if you come back and let us know what game you're working on, because we'd love to chat.
I just remember some developers at the time. There was a few that happened. And yeah, VR chat feels a bit choppy. Rec Room feels a bit choppy. But I don't know whether that's because they're free, but then they're still in the store. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. Nocturnal Wolf, wake up, you look knackered. Dude, I'm trying my best. I've asked for a refill of caffeine, and hopefully that will appear at some point.
Well, that's because you forgot your missus at the beginning of the show. She's
getting me back.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Revenge of Miss GT.
Okay, so we've covered Cova. Hopefully people are looking forward to that. I think it looks pretty cool. What did you guys think of that particular trailer or the game?
I like the idea of the game. The problem that I've got, and it's actually the same problem I've got with any asynchronous game, finding someone to play the game with. So that's always a issue. You're too good to him, Mrs. GT.
Don't tell her that.
But it looks like it could be a fun game. I do like the idea of that. I mean, I only got to play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes once with a friend, and I had an absolute blast while doing that. But I haven't been able to play that game ever since. I actually contacted the developer and said, guys, is there any way that you can do some sort of online thing? And they were just like, no, we can't, we're not going to do that. It's just like, well, at least if I can play with someone that's got the game as well, and I've got the VR bit and he's got, looking at the screen, I can actually play your game. It's one of the reasons why I didn't pick it up, because I would have picked it up on the Quest if they'd have had something like that. But again, because they're just doing it, non-multiplayer or local multiplayer, it's just like, yeah, I can't do that. So it's the same with what's its name? What did I get? Angry Birds 2 has got asynchronous multiplayer, and I haven't played it. So it's good. It's great if you've got family and stuff. It gets them involved, because that's always one of the issues with VR. How do you get people that aren't in the headset involved? So there are some really fantastic fun games to do that. Because I remember having my niece and my nephew play. What was the thing that we got with the PlayStation VR, the free thing?
Oh, PSVR World.
Playroom.
Oh, Playroom. Yeah, with the little.
I had
Astrobot.
so much fun with my niece and my nephew on Playroom. That was absolutely brilliant. But again,
Playroom's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, but that's my thoughts anyway.
But yeah, so it was 7 months ago that my version, if you want to see the stream, it was last week. My version of To the Top is 7 months old. So that shows you. And you saw, I think there was only one bug I come across at the time when I was playing it.
And this illustrates a part of the point as well, even with the creation process and what other people are talking about in chat, is sort of like people saying, well, I've seen frame rate issues in Dirt Rally. You're especially going to see them around the Monte Carlo ones and different things like that. But when you're going through this, even the creation process is not going to pick up everything, because you need thousands upon thousands upon thousands of users playing hours of gaming to be able to spot a bug in a game, then have a dev replicate that bug in exactly the same way, or spend an eternity looking for something that might cause that bug in that place, and then hand it back. So it doesn't always happen that way. There are sometimes bugs that happen very randomly and are really, really random. And getting to replicate that is a big issue for a dev because then they have to go and hunt
Well, it's
through.
not just that as well. Even if you turn off the game, it could get rid of the fault, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
it
as you're
can.
saying, live streaming is a very good way of them seeing what process led up to that actually happening or recording. What happening?
Oh yeah, because I've had developers turn around and say, do you have any video that you can show us?
Yeah. It's the first thing they ask.
So that's great. By the way, Cerebral Frost has just replied to us saying he's literally on top of his caravan fixing his roof today.
It's to the top of his caravan fixing the roof. Yeah, so Patrick, he worked onto the top. And that's what Scott Merrill's telling us. So, yeah, I only know him as Dan from Electric Hat. So, yes, but Cerebral Frost is a name I haven't seen in the chat for a long time. If you haven't been on the VR link before, or you're not part of the Discord or anything like that, we have a lot to do with VR developers quite often. And they're part of the community, which is so good about virtual reality.
To the top. There you go. Cerebral Frost works on to the top.
Yeah, somebody had said that earlier in the chat.
Yeah, it was Scott. So, yeah, what was we going to talk about next? I remember.
We're still in the news one.
We was going to talk about Audica coming
Audica.
to Oculus Quest. Yeah, have you guys played this at all?
No.
Yeah, I've played Audica.
Okay, what do you think about it?
I keep on missing the beats on some of that. It's a hard game. So every sort of rhythm game that's out there, because there's quite a few, and they all have their own different part. So if you think of Beat Saber's got its swords, Audica's got guns, and you've got different rhythms and games in there. Some of the music's pretty good, and then you have some physical other movements there that make it a completely different slice on rhythm games.
Nice.
But one of the things I would find fault with Audica in the past is the levels stepping. So going from like easy to normal is like, oh my god, what happened?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what just happened? It really is a big step, especially depending on which song you're playing.
Yeah.
I love the concept of it. I had some problems hitting some of the things in rhythm because it's a combo between getting aim, shooting, rhythm exactly right, and then sometimes a movement. So there's some bits where you do have to have maybe played a particular part of a song
Yeah.
a number of times until you get right. So if I'm shooting over that side, I can be ready to move that side. Shoot this side, ready to move that side. Whereas if you shot there, you can't move to here because you can't get to the other part in time to hit something else. It's one of those games. So it's a, if it suits you, it will suit you well. It's got some really good tracks in there, got some good music in there. It can feel really good when you really smash it, but some people will find it harder than others.
I definitely had to practice it to get on the leaderboards. Like to beat, I was saying to someone in Discord the other day, Reality Check VR. He's a really nice guy. He's got a YouTube channel and stuff, and his video is actually him like slagging me off a bit, going Gamertag, like doing all this funny stuff because I beat him and he's very competitive. What I never told him was I worked very hard to get that. Do you know what I mean? And I done it on a few because I knew he'd want to play this because he loves games like this that it would affect him. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It is a good game. I haven't been back to it for a very long time. The Quest is a great reason for me to jump back into it. Mobile VR is fantastic, isn't it? That the idea of it all wireless and stuff. The only thing is live streaming. I'm still wait. I mean, I think you can live stream with a Quest now. Do it in a certain method of some sort.
They need to really update that. That isn't actually even just on the Quest. They need to update it on the Rift as well to make streaming a much simpler process. I mean, again, we've pointed out how simple it is to stream on PlayStation VR.
Oh right, yeah.
Especially with chat and they haven't made it easy. As for the game, no, I haven't brought Audica. I've said many times I suck at rhythm games, which I didn't because I would have brought the Persona ones. But it's also kind of had a bit of a quandary because Pistol Whip was one of my favourite games last year, and in reality that is a rhythm game. But I don't see it as a rhythm game. I see it as a shooter rather than as a rhythm game, and I play it as a shooter rather than a rhythm game.
Yeah.
So, it's
Pistol Whip, like, it's weird. I remember I was having a bit of a conversation about rhythm games. Are there too many? But Pistol Whip is almost in a category on its own in a way. It's almost like there's Beat Saber, there's Audica, and then you go, and then Pistol Whip. Like, I don't know why. In my mind, it feels different.
It does.
That's
it
another
does
game
have a
that's coming for
separate
PlayStation
bit.
VR. Actually, that's another game that's coming to PlayStation eventually, isn't it?
that'll actually work really well on PlayStation VR. That's actually one of the few games that I would say will translate well because the move controllers won't hold it back in any way, shape, or form.
What do you mean? Is that because of the assisted aiming?
No, not the assisted
No,
aiming because
it's the movement.
it's the
It's
movement.
the
There
set.
is no movement. The
One
only
move
movement you're
controller.
making is
boom,
you.
boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah, yeah.
boom. That's it.
So I'm really excited for the player base that only have PlayStation VR, which there is a lot. As I say, I used to be in that category. That will be getting Pistol Whip. I mean, if I didn't have the Quest, if I didn't have a PC, along with Sniper Elite and along with Iron Man, the big game that I'd be waiting for, especially because it's released on PC, would be Pistol Whip. That would be the one that I'd be so excited for.
Yeah.
Because that is just so much fun to play. Like I say, if you're like me and you suck at rhythm games, don't play it as a rhythm game. Play it as a shooting game. You'll have a ton of fun. Even
Yeah.
on the easy levels, there is so much fun to be had on that one. So I'm really looking forward to. I don't know when it's coming. McConnell, sorry.
No, it's gone a bit quiet actually for a while. So, and Boy Brown come out with a good point. There are levels on Pistol Whip where you spin around. I think he's right. When you miss someone, or you can turn around to get that shot.
You can, spin around and get them, yeah.
Yeah. So Patrick Evans has put PSVR was my first VR headset. Mine too.
Yeah.
It was mine too.
I think it is for the majority of people. So.
I think on this channel it is because this started out as a PSVR channel anyway. So maybe if someone's here and they've been here a while, chances are they had PSVR. So Charles Mallory, yeah, dude, we can't go into that. We're gonna go into like talking about retro games. So I started on Atari Nintendo.
Oh, look,
yeah. We're all old school.
Here all night.
We're old
He's
school,
gonna
man.
be here all night. He'll be here all night.
I personally think that a lot of people, apart from the new Quest community, a lot of them are new and younger. A lot of the other guys were like proper heavy into their games, Amiga and all that stuff. And then I think VR come along and it just like smashes your interest. You're like, wow, this is incredible, and then you get fully back into gaming again. That's what happened to me. It reignited my passion like massively. Virtually.
Yeah, so it's a different thing as well for me there. I mean, when I was doing an art degree back before, in the 90s, a lot of some of my dissertation works or writing works were around VR and art.
Yeah.
So, and what it meant and the whole influence of what VR could be, and that was back in the 90s.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah,
it's a long time.
Did anyone try in the chat virtuality?
Yeah. Oh, that's the point. Yeah, I obviously I did.
Did ya?
I've played both the standing versions, the sitting versions, the three different Sega versions because they have their own headset as well. The VR1. And they had 3 different games on there that were motion-based platform ones, and what's the other one? Because they had two that were bigger motion platform game ones, and they had one that was slightly different.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I've played all of the played the major VR headsets from back in the 90s.
That is awesome.
As
So,
well.
like with Virtuality, which is a free game on Oculus, you
We're gonna
can
go,
then.
Chris.
What's up?
Chris Stacey, same place that I would have been in
Oh.
Trocadero,
Yeah.
Piccadilly Square, early 90s, going up to Sega World in Piccadilly Square and Trocadero Centre, where they had all the VR ones. Then in Milton Keynes in the 90s as well, they had virtualities set up in the arcades of the cinema back then. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So on the Oculus Store, it is on the. If you want to look it up, Virtuality, I've done a video on it because it was one of those things that I saw on TV and stuff, and in videos that I always wanted to play. And if you go on the Oculus Store, I can't remember what it's called now. It's one of the games. It's not called the actual title of the proper game, but the guy.
Tactile Terror.
That's it. Yeah, something like that. Is that what it is? Is it called Nightmare something on
well,
the Oculus Store?
I don't know. It may be. But it's called Dactyl Terror. If you're talking about the multiplayer game, the stand-up one.
Yeah.
Where you shoot different people. You only have a certain amount of shots that go off. And then you'll have a pterodactyl that soar above you, grab you, lift you up into the air, and then drop you.
That's it. So what you can do on the newer version is you can go back to have the same field of view that they had. I think it's 60 degrees. You can shrink your field of view in your headset down to 60 degrees, and I think the frame rate drops to 45. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was literally, the other one that they had in there.
Tantrum. VR brings boomers together and young'uns.
Yeah. There was a tank game thing as well, which was sit-down ones.
Oh mate, I'd love one of them.
They were good.
But the reason I made the video was mainly to promote the fact that you can go and experience a bit of Virtuality history now. Like you can go on the Oculus Store and download that for free and see what Virtuality was like. Because I think even the graphics change as well. So I love that. Like, because I'll probably there is a place, isn't there, up north or something you can go and still play all these.
Oh yeah, there's one place up north that has a lot of pinball games and retro arcade games, and also has a fantastic VR collection where he has both stand up and sit down. I think he had the VR 1000 units, which they're powered by Amigas.
Oh right. Keeping it proper retro.
I played on the 2000s as well, which were powered by a 365 rather than an Amiga. So he also has Jaguar VR.
What, from
anybody else? The Atari Jaguar
was that on
VR.
That was on Tomorrow's World or something. That was the only time I ever saw that.
It wasn't released. So he actually has one of the prototypes of the Jaguar.
Sure. That controller was absolutely mental. It's like 40 buttons or something.
That controller was the worst controller in history.
I don't know, because the original Xbox controller was also terrible, man. That was really bad.
I've held the original Xbox controller and I've played Jaguar games, and I don't like Xbox controllers basically, and Jaguar controller is still worse.
I didn't get it because when the Xbox come out, it was like almost a transition to the Dreamcast, or what the Dreamcast would have been next.
The Dreamcast felt better.
Oh yeah, but when I got that controller, it had a big plastic ball in the middle. It was chunky. I was like, what the hell is this? Do you know what I mean? Like, why have they done this? Right, we're going right off subject. Anyway.
Yeah, we are.
So, order cart. The VR Rhythm Shooter from Studio Harmonix releases Tuesday, and they have confirmed it is cross-buy on the Oculus Store. So yeah, this is from Rotor VR. They put a segment here. Audica first launched on PC VR headsets in early access back in March 2019, and then later on PSVR late last year, which carried with it 4 new songs exclusive to PSVR, as well as 5 paid DLC songs from household names such as 5 Seconds of Summer, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Imagine Dragons, and Post Malone. Now the Quest version is set to arrive next week alongside 4 new paid DLC tracks and 4 free DLC songs that were once PSVR exclusives. So yeah, that sounds like another good deal. And also the cross buy is always welcome. Absolutely
Well, that's
fantastic.
actually the reason I brought Walking Dead on Quest. Sorry, on Oculus Store, because I was going to buy it on Steam.
Oh, nice. Did someone just ask about Lincoln or Nate
Yeah,
Peterson?
we've had a few people asking about Lincoln, so I've just put a little
Mhm.
note in there saying that he's taking a break from the show.
He has. Yeah, it's what he wanted, and I don't think it ended on a negative note. He's always welcome back.
Yeah, we hope he comes back.
So, and doing that introduction without him was difficult. I was like, no, and then and then we got the ending. He made a big, he made a bloody big impression.
We'll be missing an ending. We'll be missing an ending.
He made a big impression.
You know what the ending was. I'd wait every time, and it'd be like,
yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
Well, there was a reason, because initially when we brought Lincoln in, it was meant to be a one-time thing, and we had so much fun on that one show. It was, I mean, I remember it. Literally, you turned around and said, "Listen, we had so much fun. What do you think about having Lincoln as a regular member?" And I think all of us straight away
we
said, "Oh
just
yeah,
straight-
yeah.
yeah, great.
That was a lot of fun.
Chemistry works." But there you go.
So, Tandra just put ask Nathy. It's not so some. It's difficult when you do these shows. I can't actually guarantee a time. I can't say to someone it's an hour, it's 2 hours, like because we interact with you guys, which is probably one of the more unique things of this particular. This is what people tell me. They're like, this one's quite unique because we're always involving you, which I like doing that, which is probably annoying for some viewers back later on. But all I can say is please hit the bell and be here when we're live. It's hard to get people on, especially at last minute. But we have got some guests lined up for our shows in the next coming weeks. So yeah, we've got some ladies in VR coming on, and one of them, both of them one's into esports and one's into virtual reality art. So yeah,
So kick our ass when it comes to that.
yeah. So
Could be awesome.
that's the idea. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to start having other people on here as like co-hosts and stuff.
She'll also kick us up in Beat Saber as well. Actually, Rose is pretty good at Beat Saber from what I can tell.
So there you go. Yeah, that's what's going on. So next up, in a bit of news, is about Half-Life Alyx. Valve said they are confident the game will be ready for its March release date. Now, before I read any more, I'm going to look at Nat quickly. Because, like, literally every time we talk about this, he's like, no. There is a segment. This was also on Rotor VR. I decided to look at their stuff this week. I go like upload Rotor VR, so definitely check out Rotor VR. They do a lot of great stuff. What did they put? There is a comment about
they've already had their Valve time before
Valve
they
time.
announced the game.
Valve time, like that is fantastic. They've got their own clock. I love it. How many hours in Valve time? A Valve day? I don't know.
Well, everything we've heard about Alyx is positive from Valve. I mean, it's their biggest team. Was it 80 plus people?
80 plus people.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They've never had a team this big. They said that their Valve time they've already had before they even announced the game. So that's why they're confident of hitting their March release date. I hope they do, because I really want to play this game. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a clearer idea, because I think one of the other things they said in the AMA is they have some gameplay trailers, or they're going to have a gameplay trailer out, which we haven't seen. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. As German Rift has just said, every time I see that Half-Life Alyx trailer, yeah, same thing. I get
Oh, mate.
bumps.
I think when it first came out, we run it 3 times in a row, and everyone in the chat wanted to see it or something,
Yeah,
like with the
just,
music
yeah,
on.
again.
It was amazing. Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to watch it, let me know. I'll run it at the end of this segment. So yeah, the AMA, I have gone through some of it. It was bloody good. Their comments were, with the exception of some tweaks to the absolute final scene, the game is done, like you're saying. Lots of us at Valve, as well as playtesters, have played through the entire game multiple times. Right now, we're primarily polishing and fixing bugs, which is where we'd hope to be at this point in the development cycle. We're confident we'll hit our intended release. So yeah, like you're saying, it's on track, which would be nice. And do you know what? I wouldn't even care if it was delayed.
No, because we just want this game to be what we want it to be.
Which is another discussion we've had before. So
yeah,
about
there was obviously a little question earlier that was asked of if Lone Echo 2 and Half-Life Alyx came out at the same time, same week, same day, and you could only buy one, which would you go for?
Half-Life Alyx.
Say that one again, South. Sorry, quickly. Which one?
Half-Life comes out, and Lone Echo 2, same day.
I'd be Half-Life.
You can only have one.
It'd be Half-Life. Unfortunately, Half-Life's been in my emotions for a long time.
Yeah, it has to be Half-Life.
That's horrible. Who said that? Who made that? Who made that horrible?
Vited, wasn't it?
Vited, yeah.
Oh man, that is difficult.
To be honest, no, I don't think any company would put a VR game unless they wanted to bury it. I don't think anybody would put a VR game up against.
That'd be interesting. Imagine if someone else comes out of that particular week.
They'd move it. If Lone Echo 2 came out and said we're coming out at the end of March, and then Valve a week later come out and say, oh, we're launching the end of March, guarantee the Ready at Dawn will turn around and say they're either going to bring it forward or they're going to delay it for a couple of weeks.
Surprise, guys, we're releasing early.
Yeah.
Basically.
That would most probably actually do them better if they thought, if that did happen and they just turned around and said, oh, we've just decided that actually the game is ready and we're going to release it a couple of weeks early. I mean, how many games have we had where literally we've had no prep for them? They've just like, oh, game's coming out 2 days' time. Loads of them.
Yeah. Chris Stacey said Gary's mod is on Steam sale. If anyone wants to try Half-Life 2 in VR, if anyone does want to do that, I did make a video on it, just some gameplay. There's also a link to Tyrell Wood's video, which should teach you how to basically add all that stuff to make it in virtual reality. I wouldn't say it's easy, but once you've done it and look back on the steps, you'll go, oh yeah, it weren't too bad. But stepping into it in the first place is a little bit like, dude, this could be heavy, but it's not really. It's not too bad. I got it working, which means it can be done by most people, I'm pretty sure. So
I'm yet to get it, but I will.
It is good. It actually is fantastic. Just being back in that world is absolutely awesome. German Rifter, who's one of my good friends, he's a massive supporter of virtual reality. He wants to see the Half-Life Alyx trailer in full screen, and I want to give it to him. So we'll be back in a minute.
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
There's no straight shot to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out. Got it.
I'm with you every step of the way.
You're gonna need a gun! Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now!
Combine channel's really picking up. They know you're coming. You need to get out of here, now. Oh, God.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him. Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey!
No. So, yeah.
There we go.
What we're talking about as well, while that was going on, is what Charles just brought up there about the moddable engine as well. So, how do you guys feel about modding in games?
So what's the plan?
I've never understood
We can
it,
get
I've got
this
to be
weapon.
honest.
What we're doing
But
here
I
could change
understand the
things forever.
benefits of modding.
Yeah.
And
There's
when
no
they
straight shots
finally
to vault.
actually unveil the engine, I mean, all
I'm
you
gonna
got
head
to do
inside,
is look
find a way
back
out.
in the past
Got it.
what
I'm with you
the
every
original
step of
Valve
the way.
engine and
You're
the
gonna need a
Source
gun.
engine has actually
Don't worry, it's
brought
unloaded.
in terms of new games.
It's unloaded now.
Have you seen Tactical Paradise?
Combine channel
We-
picking up. They know
I
you're
kind of.
Yeah, I've just noticed that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Modding, yes, Vortex is what I've used for Blade and Sorcery.
Oh,
It's
God.
the only.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
Thank you very much, guys. I didn't know. Mini video. I must have unmuted. That was my bad. So you've been talking, and that bloody thing. Was it overly loud, guys, or not? Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. I thought I unmuted my mic, but I muted the mini clip video. So yeah, I apologise about that. Yeah, so the only modding I've done is through Vortex for Blade and Sorcery, which makes it really easy to add mods.
Vortex also does Skyrim VR as well, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't own Skyrim VR on PC. So, yeah, my English is starting to die now. My mouth.
Your English no works so good.
Yeah, I'm starting to fade a little bit. So yeah, what is up next? That's Half-Life, and I think the very last game we're going to talk about today is a game called Iron Lights. Don't know if I've got the full trailer or not. Let me just take a quick look at this. Did I download a trailer for this game to show everyone? I did download a trailer to show everyone, which is cool. So I'll run it in the background quickly while we get some information out of the way. So, E. McNeil, the developer behind VR strategy games like Darknet, Tacterra, what's that? Astrius, I think that says, is launching a new VR title soon that aims to bring a strategic bend to melee combat games. The crowdfunding campaign game has passed 50% mark of its $15,000 goal in with more than 3 weeks remaining. So basically, I think in the first day they've said he got 20% of his crowdfunding, which 15,000 doesn't seem quite a lot when I think about what was Lo-Fi.
Yeah, but it does depend on the game. I mean, Lo-Fi literally appealed to everyone that is a Blade Runner fan. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah. The creator also confirmed the game has already been approved by Oculus for release on Quest, and Iron Lights will support cross-buy between Quest and Rift. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the trailer, whether it's a successful look and we're all muted or not muted. It's getting to that stage, but I'm going to run it now with some sound. go. We are unmuted. Yeah, so I just learned something between
Are
running.
you sure about that?
Ah, man, I can see your voices going up and down. So let me just finish off. The game is still in development. The game is setting itself apart from other physics-based melee titles by offering up a dynamic back and forth combat system, which is designed to further eliminate careless controller waggling by a way of novel turn-based combat system. During a turn, only the attacker can land strikes, while the defender must do their best to dodge or parry incoming blows. As a physics-based game, all weapons have weight and momentum. However, striking an enemy automatically enters you into slow motion, forcing you to move your body slow-mo in order to maintain optimal control of your weapons. In Iron Lights, you're also only allowed one hit per swing, as weapons shatter after each hit instead of bouncing off. By design, this is meant to sidestep the sort of disconnect you might feel when you strike a virtual enemy and your physical controller keeps moving. McNeil says to think of it sort of like a VR version of Street Fighter or Soul Calibur mixed with Super Hot and maybe a dash of Beat Saber. There's a lot of heavy hitting big names chucked in at the end of there. Do you know what I mean? I like all them games. So,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? But you know, I've reached out on this one. Silat Cerebral, good luck with the caravan roof, I think it was. Yeah, I've reached out on this one because I'm just interested in helping them get the word out, check the game out. What about you guys?
Don't think it's something for me personally, but as I said, you know, while we were watching the trailer, I always have, I always hope games do well for the developers, you know, because we want developers to make games for VR. But you know, yeah, it just looks like a game that wouldn't personally appeal to me. But yeah, like I say, I hope the developer devs does well. Obviously, it's going well for them on Kickstarter, so I hope they get their money and do well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think this one's the mechanics sound very odd. I'm curious about the mechanics, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not sure where it sits for me.
This is, he says, I think it looks great if priced right. There is some information if you want to back this game. I think you might, at a certain price range, pick up 2 copies. I haven't got all that information. If you want me to quickly have a look, I can. But yeah, this was, as I said, some of this stuff was picked up from Road to VR. You can check it out on their website, and this game is featured on there. We will get it on the channel, obviously. I can see why they've done what they've done, though. They're basically trying to change the idea of like waggling in VR. You're winning a fight by whoever does the fastest crazy movements, maybe, and this could add an element of skill.
Well, I like I say, I hope it does well. Well, actually, somebody's midlife gamist has just put down he liked Telefrag, but there wasn't a take up by the players. I actually disagree. I didn't like Telefrag. I could see what they were trying to do, but it was just like, okay, you're trying to change the wheel. You don't need to change the wheel. Just make a really good wheel. I didn't like what they did with that game. I thought it was yeah, it was weird. It's just like, just make a Quake game, guys.
Yeah,
That's
there was elements of Telefrag that I did like.
Yeah.
And then it messed up in other areas. This I could see has the potential to be kind of like that, but I don't know. The mechanics sound very, very strange to me. I'm curious about the mechanics and how it would feel, but I don't know. I'm not sold on it.
Well, it could, like I say, it could be one of those things where once you've actually tried the mechanics, you're like, oh, actually, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. So yeah, I'm just obviously giving my initial impressions. Like I say, I hope it goes really well. But I'm always happy to be proven wrong about any game. If you know, I've had surprises. I think we all have had surprises in a VR game where you go into it and you're like, I'm not too sure I mean, again, I'll bring up Pistol Whip. I think both of you guys would have most probably been like, well, Nat most probably like Pistol Whip, but he won't like it that much. And then I remember actually when I turned around to GT
Yeah.
and I said this, because at the time it was like, that is my game of the year. And
Yeah.
you were like, really?
Yeah.
That's your game of the year?
I thought you was going to stomp all over Pistol
Yeah, I
Whip,
did.
to be honest.
Yeah, I did.
I thought you was going to just berate it. And then you came out with that, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
But
So-
you know, you do get games like that. You get games where you go into them, you think, oh, you know, I'm sure it's gonna be okay, and then you go, wow. Or there's games where you go, yeah, I'm not expecting much, and you come out the other side and go, what just happened there? And then there's games where you go in going, this is gonna be good. This is going to be good. And then you go, oh no, they missed it. They wrecked it. You know, talk about buying the pants store.
I know what you're saying. So yeah, there you go, guys. Was there any questions in Discord and comments and stuff? Was there something? Or any news or anything you guys wanted to talk about?
Well, the only thing I want to bring up is for everyone that's got PC VR is the Steam sale ends pretty much now. I think you've got like a few hours left to jump in, and it is a really good sale. I mean, this is New Year's Day or New Year's Christmas type sale again. So you know, you know, Fallout is available there, and Elder Scrolls is there. If you know, I think their game's worth picking up when they're on sale, definitely. But there's loads of other stuff. So, like I say, check out Steam if you've got a PC VR and see if there's anything that appeals to you.
I was going to say, and I wanted to ask you this, Nat, as well. I know obviously getting into PC VR is expensive.
Yep.
But do you also feel like the games are cheaper, or you can get decent?
I think
bang for your
there's much
buck, you know?
better deals, especially when you take into account Steam. Now, I got to admit, I didn't think the Oculus sales were that great, and Oculus have actually got a sale. I think that ends today.
Year of the Rat, someone said.
No, Year of the Lunar or something. I can't remember. It's Lunar Sale or something like that.
Yeah, it's the change of the Lunar.
The only game I've looked at the Oculus one where I've maybe thought about getting it is there's like a translation thing, kind of teaches you basic words, because I've always kind of had a thing about having a basic understanding of Japanese. So I'm not going to get advanced. I'm too old to learn Japanese now. At my age, you need to start learning languages at a young age to really get them. But
Lingo, I want to get Lingo Dear for your mobile. Really good for learning Japanese or Asian-based language.
Well, this kind of has obviously something visual, so maybe that'll help me be less moronic. But yeah, like I say, I mean, you look at Steam. I mean, it's hundreds of games. It's insane, and you know, I mean, if I've actually got my computer on at the moment. Let me just quickly go back.
Just going to say about Undead Citadel VR Gamers. He said, any news on that? I've just jumped into their Discord, and I often actually check up on there because the poor guy, I think, is working so hard that he doesn't check his own Discord very often. People are joining it all the time, just like, is this game dead? Is anything happening? He's just so busy. But the last comment he put on there was, someone obviously asked the same thing, what's happening, when's it out? But honestly, we can't say a date because we are doing some big changes in order to improve our performance a lot on PlayStation VR. Which makes me think they might be going for a simultaneous release.
Oh.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look, like I say, at Steam. So this is just the first page. The Forest is on there, £8.51. I haven't actually tried that in VR, but I know you have, GT.
Love it.
Subnautica's on there, £13.64. Obviously something that's going to appeal to Assetto Corsa, and we actually discussed this. Assetto Corsa, just a basic game, £3.87. The Ultimate Edition, £7.56.
Get the Ultimate Edition, everybody.
Dirt Rally 2.0, £13.49. Payday 2, the basic version, £3.74.
Well, they got the extreme, what do you call it, the full edition for 19.
I don't know what that means,
well.
Diz. Sorry.
What's that, of Payday?
No, of Dirt Rally 2.
I don't know. Hold on, let me just click into it.
There's two versions. There's a basic version, and there's a fuller version.
The deluxe. Is it deluxe version? £19.49.
That's good value. Get the deluxe version over that because it's like the difference of 40 quid to 60 odd
There's also
quid. So
super
a
deluxe
edition,
difference, which is £42.49.
Thank you, German Rifter, for the donation. He says, "Gotta go. Have an awesome Sunday and a great start into the new week, everyone." Yes, that is the idea of the show. Really, it's not a finishing show. It's kind of, it's kind of like looking back on the week and going, yeah, but then it's also kind of like trying to look forward at what we got coming as well. So, yeah, it's a nice way of looking at it, man. That this is a good start to the week. Do you know what I mean? Because Mondays can be crap. I'm sorry, Mondays. I don't really like Mondays.
Well, the cool thing is obviously most of us, we haven't played a lot of Walking Dead, so most of us, if we're going to have any spare time,
yeah, man,
that's all we're going to be playing, let's be honest.
So I'm doing like all my hours at work basically from Friday to Monday, Saturday and Sunday at 12 hours, and then I should be off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It depends if they give me overtime in the week, so I'll have to do it at the moment. 1 Inch Wonder, how you doing? He jumped in our Discord today and boosted it twice, I believe, which is something I didn't even know much about. So yeah, he's in there and he's becoming a strong part of the community straight away. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah. So see you later, Gem Rifter. Thank you ever so much for that donation. Thank you ever so much.
Well, let's be honest. The community for us is as important as us three guys, if not more so, because without them, we ain't here. So, thank you so much for everyone that watches us, whether it's for 15 minutes or the 2.5, and 3 hours that we've dragged this.
We have done 3 hours, haven't we?
We have done 3 hours before, definitely.
Have we ever gone over 3 hours?
No, I think 3 hours is the.
I don't know. I think in parts where we've ended up with the stream got broken or interrupted in the middle, it might be collectively over 3 hours.
Diz, what's he saying? Look, between PSVR and Quest, I know of nothing coming out worth being excited about. He wants to know what new game's coming out next 3 weeks.
Between PSVR and Quest, well, Quest has got a couple of things there. What we said, Audica.
Yeah, but what's going to be announced with no, Audica got announced end of last week, and it's coming out this week. So what other games? We got what's its name? Phantom Covert Ops. We still haven't got a date on that. We know
Phantom
it's coming.
So
that could quite conceivably be given a date. Again, within a week. Actually, let's just have a quick look at the Quest. And
you're going on the store there. I'll quickly jump on PlayStation.
Yeah, so you've got Echo VR down as coming soon, Audica, Pixel Rip 1995, Phantom Covert Ops, and Facebook Horizon they've put on the Quest. If I go to the Rift, because they've got a few more on the Rift, you've got After the Fall, which looks really cool. They've still got Walking Dead Onslaught, and I think we all agree there is a place for that game.
Yeah, we spoke about it, didn't we? Isn't there supposed to be like a Horizon Zero Dawn virtuality thing happening?
No, there is rumours now that Horizon Zero Dawn is going to get a PC release, and I think somebody earlier on said it's going to be really interesting to see what Insomniac do in terms of what they bring to PlayStation VR. But I think it's also really interesting to find out, will Insomniac and Sony allow Insomniac to make a VR game that works on both PlayStation VR and PC? Will they still bring, because it definitely looks like Sony are going to be bringing PC titles to the marketplace if everything is true. So
that'd be interesting.
That would be really, really.
It'd be interesting for Stormlands as well, because if Stormlands actually expands,
that's what we forgot to talk about. Star Child had something happen.
The developers, yeah.
Yeah,
what was that
worrying thing about Star Child?
They've let a lot of developers, their staff go. The thing is, I mean, I remember when that demo came out on what was it, Demo Disc 2? And there was 3 demos. It was Moss, which was actually the only one I cared about. Out of the three, that was the only one initially that I cared about.
Yeah.
You had the Persistence, and then you had Star Child. Once I'd played all three of those demos, I was just like, I'm sold on all three games. I want all three of them. I'm hoping Star Child is not somebody. Boy Brown's just put it. I hope it's not dead, because that game looked a lot of fun.
It wowed a lot of people, actually. I was really surprised. I thought it was okay, but some people loved it.
It wowed a lot of people in visuals. Certainly, I was wowed in visuals. But on gameplay, I was like...
Do you know what it reminded me of?
Quite got it.
Oh, what is that game on PlayStation? Begins with a P, and they jump and bounce on the coins. You just run along jumping on stuff. Oh, God. I can see... You know, have you ever been able to see a game cover, but you can't see the words?
Yeah, of course.
That's not right. That's not fair. That's not fair. I can't think what it's called. There was like Go on.
One of the things that got me about Star Child as well was in the E3 stuff, they picked it up with this really amazing, over-the-top animation that left some question about that there was some amazing twist to how the gameplay was going to work and the game mechanics was going to work. And that has not been answered. Lots of miscommunication and then letting people go. I'm like, what did you have there that you apparently haven't had? And why hasn't it been out yet? And why is it now never maybe going to come out?
That is true. Midlife Gamers. So this was on the PlayStation, and he's put, no, you were a jester. That is right. You could be a girl or a jester in the game. And it was just like a side scroller in 3D when 3D was like pretty cool and new, and you just like bounced on things. Oh God, this is awful. This is, do you know what? Usually, also I'd be like, oh, man, hold on, no, that's not it. Yeah. So, did we get any questions in the Discord? Did anyone check? I don't think we did this week. Pandemonium.
No, we didn't. Pandemonium. Oh, wow. That's a blast from the past.
Bloody-monium. That is it. That is the one. Thank you ever so much. Bite, you were close with Pandemic. That is probably a better name for the game. So, awesome. Excellent, guys. Yeah. Is everyone happy? You all good? Anything you want to talk about? Horizon Zero Dawn is on PS Now. Thank you ever so much. You were close. You were close. Yeah, I wish we could give a prize for that. I haven't got any, unfortunately.
No.
So,
you'd have to be satisfied with well done, you. Virtual pat on the back.
Yes, have a virtual pat on the back. Great Tangent says good stream again. Thank you ever so much, guys. Let me give a quick thank you to Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Thank you very much. Hi, bye, guys.
And South Ketchup from South Ketchup VR.
Evening, people.
That's it. Remember to subscribe to these guys and Lincoln Clay. I know he's not here at the moment, but he does some great Wakanda streams. You know, he's got great opinions, and I hope I can coax him into coming back at some point. So, Boy Brown said, I'd like to talk about Shadow PC one week. What, do you want to come on the show and talk about Shadow PC one week? Is that what you're saying? Mr. Brown? Would you like to come on here? Mr. Brown. What's that from? Mr. Brown.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah. It reminds me of like a program. The weird drawings. But yeah. Cool. Guys, thank you. Sorry, I am very spaced out, clearly, and the less sleep I get, the more weird I'm becoming.
Yeah, you are. You know, you need to end it and get some sleep. He needs his GT power nap.
Oh, I need to. You know, I'm supposed to be trying to go to the gym at 5 in the morning as well, or 5:30. I don't think I'm going to do it today. I might have to lay in, try not to yawn. Yes, guys, thank you. Everyone in the chat, thank you ever so much. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you to everyone who subscribed while we're live. And, yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll all see you in the week. We'll obviously be doing content on our channels. And look after yourselves.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.